I challenged myself to decide the fate of my 50th platinum. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, friends. I have been sitting at 44 platinums for a while now, and I've been trying to decide what I want to do for my 50th. Now, do I want to do something nice, simple, and easy, or do I want to push myself and do something that's going to make me question the whole idea of platinuming games in general? You know, because 50 is a very solid, milestone for a channel or an attempt or whatever you want to call this. Whatever type of situation this is with me playing games on PlayStation and getting platinums. It's a solid milestone for my first year. So I decided, why don't I challenge myself? I picked 5 games. And together between, user reviews and PSN profiles, these 5 games should take me 50 hours to beat, give or take. And so, if I platinum these 5 games under 50 hours, I'm going to pick something nice, something simple, and something enjoyable to play as my 50th platinum. And if I lose this challenge, then I'm going to have to pick something miserable. I'm going to have to pick something that's going to be so annoying, it's going to make me want to rip my brains out and never play a game again. I gave myself 4 rules for this challenge. Number 1, have to beat all 5 games within 50 hours. Number 2, if my PlayStation 5 is on, the timer is on. So if as soon as I turn my PlayStation on, that timer is going down. It doesn't matter. If I pause a game, the timer is going down. The timer does not stop unless my PlayStation is off. The third rule is I can use guides. I can go through guides. I can use any means I need to acquire these platinums as fast as possible. However, I cannot look at guides or anything else if I'm not playing. The timer has to be going if I'm using a guide. And the final rule is I can't move from a game until I beat it. So I have to play the games in order. Overall, this is a pretty simple and easy challenge. It's not too complicated, it's not too demanding, but we do have that pressure of the unknown when it comes to the time. Now, I am the type of person that likes to stop and go do stuff while I'm gaming. I will play a game, pause it, go do some laundry. So it's really going to make me have to really focus on the time I have my PlayStation on, the time I'm gaming, and what I'm doing in between. So yes, this could be really easy. It could also be very difficult, and it might cause some issues. Now, my other concern is using a mix of sources to get the time frames here. Now, it could be horribly off. I could have games that say it could be beaten in 10 hours, and maybe it's actually more like 15, or it could be more like 6. I don't really know. I'm going off of things I found online, and I'm just sort of adding different things together and getting a averaged out time frame. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go. Let's see how this plays out. All right, the first game of the challenge is The Wolf Among Us. Now, PSN Profiles has this at 10 hours for the platinum, and it also consists of like 36 trophies. I saw user reviews saying it could take shorter or longer, depending on how you handle the touch-up process at the end. This is a Telltale game, so it's an interactive story with some gameplay mechanics. It follows the big bad wolf as he chases down a murderer. As with most Telltale games, the trophies are essentially just beat the game. But this one has a few choices. And at some areas, you have to go back and choose the opposing option from your runs. And as well, there's also a few collectibles that you can miss. Overall, I really enjoyed the story, and it took me a whopping 8 hours and 29 minutes. So it's a really solid start to this challenge. Next up is Road 96. This game had a mixed completion time of anywhere from 7 to 11 hours, with a total of only 12 trophies. It was a pretty easy platinum with mostly story-based trophies and a few missables and some collectibles. My biggest stressor with this game is a lot of the side stories are random and not really guaranteed in any order for collectibles. But little did I know there was more collectibles than needed for collecting, so it was a little unnecessary stress there. The game was a story about a dystopian country, whatever that word is, country, with a bunch of teenagers trying to escape the evil rule. You have a few lovable NPCs with connecting stories that were really well written. I had a really fun time with this game, and I beat it in 10 hours, 10 minutes, and 34 seconds. At this point, things were looking pretty solid for the challenge. Concrete Genie was next on my list, and this game was an experience. With a total of 53 trophies, if you don't include the VR DLC that added 3 more, which I don't have a VR for PlayStation, so I did not add those, there is a time frame for this game for about 7 to 10 hours and a potential for a glitched trophy, which would require a second playthrough. The trophies were full of collectibles and story progression, and this was such a fun game. You start out by coloring this town and exploring, and then halfway through, it switches to a magic-like blasty game. It was so fun, and I had a blast with the game. The story was alright with an anti-bully message, a little cheesy, but it was really enjoyable and really worth the time. I got lucky, and I didn't have to deal with the bug trophy, and I beat the game in 8 hours, 16 minutes, and 42 seconds. I almost want to buy the VR so I can try to get those other trophies and see how this game plays in VR. Deliver Us the Moon was the 4th game. This game, Platinum, averaged about 8 to 11 hours. It had a whopping 33 trophies, and the trophies were varied, with some being just beat the game and collectibles, and some really fun hidden challenges, like the fan favorite of carrying a dead battery through a level, which, admittedly, I screwed up the first time and had to replay the level to redo it and get the trophy. The story was enjoyable, and I get the hype for the first game in the series, Deliver Us Mars, which I really want to try now. The game followed the story of a brave astronaut trying to save Earth by getting power back from the bases on the moon. I don't want to get too spoily, so I'll just leave it here, but after a whopping 8 hours, 2 minutes, and 36 seconds, I got the platinum and moved on to my last game of this challenge. Finally, we have Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. This game had a wide range of completion time ranging from 8 hours to 14, with a total of 37 trophies. The trophies require beating the game, collecting all the bottles and treasures, a few level-specific challenges, and the dreaded time trials, which I was definitely afraid for. The game follows Sly as we traverse levels trying to get the pages back from his family's secret book about thieves. This was one of the games I worried about the most. The speedrun challenges I'm usually not good at. Luckily, I did manage to beat the game pretty easily, and with a few tries, I got enough speedrun duns to get the platinum in a whopping 10 hours, 13 minutes, and 25 seconds. And there we have it. I beat the challenge. With a whopping, Let me look at my notes. 5 hours, 47 minutes, and 40 seconds left over. Admittedly, I feel like I didn't do enough research to plan this out properly. I feel like it was a lot easier than I, in my head, made it out to be. Like, I thought it was going to be harder. So this sort of shows you really can't trust time completions or, guesses on how long it takes to beat something. But, nonetheless, it was fun. I had a blast. And, I get to decide something fun and easy for my 50th platinum. So, stay tuned for that video because that's coming. And well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching another stupid video I make. I hope you like this content. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. If you do, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a comment. And, let me know what games you want to see me try to platinum or talk about trying to platinum. And you know what? I'll see you guys in the next video.